Hey everybody, welcome to the infinite regression. Oh, no, hey, don't be scared. Don't be scared. No, I'm here. I'm here with you. And even though this regression is infinite, I'm gonna help you through it. Yeah. I'm a nice guy. What can I say? Anyway, so for those who don't know, and some of you might not, because for other reasons, family may have recently been pointed to this YouTube channel, and so there may be people who've never seen weekendy type fun before, might not know what I'm doing, and so I'm just gonna explain myself a little bit. Anyway, this is the weekend. And I'm an adult, and adults, in their own homes on weekends can, do a thing or two if they had the inclination. I mean, legally, it's fine. So, don't worry about it. Anyway, regardless, I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna move it over here. No more infinite regression, not for a bit anyway. And anyway, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this now. This is what we're doing. Wait, what? Why would we want to see the downloads of things on the bottom? Come on, this is a professional YouTube channel. Look, hey. Oh no, Kason. Look, I'm glad you made it back from South Jordan, but look, this is a professional YouTube studio for professionals. Don't try to put this one on Braxton. Don't try and put this one on Braxton. Look, I know there's a lot of white people in this room with a lot of white people names. Yep, it's true. Whole bunches of you. Look at Ian. Has he been outside in the past decade? He's got skin like a sun-deprived Johnny Winter. Like a he's got skin like a uh, uh, hermetically sealed. What's the other Winter brother? Ian Winter, Johnny Winter, Summer Winter. What's the other Winter brother? Come on. Hey Siri, who are the Winter brothers? She gonna tell me. She knows.
One moment. This winter at Brothers Volcano will begin.
What, you stink pot? Oh, come on. This is a professional show. My goodness gracious potatoes. Like, come on, Kason. Spend a little time in South Jordan, Utah. You think this is the kind of show we do around here? No. Look, no. What was I Googling? What was being Googled? Who Googled it? Who? You tell me right now. You tell me. No, the winter, Okay, hold up. Edgar. It's Edgar. Man. Don't worry. Hey, look. Braxton's written some decent stuff this week. And Kaysen, you are the one who's messing up in here. And I'm just trying to put on a professional show. And no one had better put out the version of this show with me yelling at you imbeciles about the crap job that you've been doing lately. Look, not you, Braxton. I've looked it over. I looked over the jokes this week. They are solid. They are solid. You pat yourself on the back, Braxton. You know what? You heard what I said last week. You got it together, and I appreciate that. I do. You're a team player, Braxton. You are. Yeah. I might even get you on the show today. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, Kaysen, you and your ridiculous freaking name. It's one letter off from a normal name. We all know that your parents could have named you Jason, except for they were like, oh, we want him to be unique. We don't want him to be like those other 7 billion babies in the world. You're not unique, Kaysen. You're not. You know what you are unique at is not doing a good job of preparing me for knowing that Edgar Winter is Johnny Winter's brother, and he's the albino keyboardist who wrote the song Frankenstein, covered by the band Fish, on a regular basis. All of those following things are actually true, and I know that, no thanks to Kaysen, whose name should have been Jason if his parents weren't ridiculous. Yeah, I said it. I don't care if they're from South Jordan. Think South Jordan scares me? Nah. If you ain't from Sandy, you ain't got nothing on me. I'm telling you. I'm just going to do Utah geography-based humor for a while. Yeah. It's what the people ask for. They're like, can you name more like suburban areas in Utah? And I was like, yeah. Hey, I know people who live in Thanksgiving Point. Right? Yeah. Comedy. Anyway, look, let's get this thing started. Kaysen, no thanks to you. I'm doing the heavy lifting. Braxton, I look forward to getting into these lines. If Kaysen was doing his job, I would have been into this a while ago. Okay, fine. Here we go. And remember, one of you idiots releases the version of this with me yelling at Kaysen here, heads are going to roll. We're not going to put up with it. You know, last week I said some things about Braxton over here, and he took it like a man. He took the lesson to heart, took the hard lesson, and he turned it around. And then one of you idiots put out that version of the video, and now who's got egg on his face? You know I don't like eggs. You know I don't like eggs. We're not doing that this week. You hear me? Okay. I only want to have to say that once. Okay? I only want to have to say that once. The number of times I want to have to say that? Uno. One. One time is the amount that I want to have been saying that by this time today. One time. Only the lonely. Come on now. One. One time. Give it to me one time. Oh my God. If I had a James Brown backup band, I could be like, give it to me one time. Bump. Give it to me 2 times. Bump, bump. Like, oh my God. I that power would go straight to my head. Straight to my head. Okay, let's go ahead and not get started over here. We are 9.5 minutes in. Haven't even gotten started. That's new record. New record. Here we are. Let's do the voice like we always do. By the way, this is a terrible way to begin. I was doing that facetiously, but it turned into an inside joke with myself, because I have a kid in my drama class who always begins by clearing his throat even though I've told him, like, clearing your throat is bad for your throat right before you're about to say stuff, it actually encourages a break in the voice rather than prevents it. Anyway, and then apparently his voice cracked today and people laughed at him. Not my fault. I did not do that. But I was the one who tried to tell him how to not do that. If I were to guess, he was throat clearing. So, yep. Weekend Type Fun 6. A slippery banana peel of weekendy hilarity. Don't ask me, but that is legitimately 100% how we do that. What did Nico get when she made out with everyone in the Velvet Underground? Purple lips. Get it? Purple lips. I do get it. Purple lips. Is it Purple Lips, the second track on Nico's 1981 solo album Drama of Exile? Wait, you at least get the thing with the banana, right? It's a banana. Banana. Right? Banunu. Banini. Banugla. Banarf narf. Banoob noob. Nope, that would be a boob. I just thought about it. Nope, that's retracted. Retracted. We're talking about bananas. Okay, well, maybe if you take a banana and you peel it slowly, then you will see. Okay, there's no getting through to you. All right, we're just moving on, because clearly you do not understand very much in the way of Velvet Underground references. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Hold the phone. Find a phone, hold it. No, that's a banana. That is a banana. That is not a telephonic communicator. My friend. Mon Freunde. Meine Friendelissimo. That ain't no telephone. No. No, it don't look like Alexander Graham Bell's. No, his was like 2 pieces. How long did it take him to figure out like one piece? One piece. One for the ear, one for the mouth. One piece. Like, man. Hold up 2 pieces and then you got to be like, oh, hello? Oh, Pennsylvania 65000. More. 22 skidoo. Oh, old-timey talkie. Ridiculous. You'd be all like, ahoy hoy. Oh, did you know that was in the running? Did you? Okay, for real now. You came here for one reason only, and that is to discover historical facts about this world in which we live. Here is a historical fact. Look it up. People didn't know what to say when you picked up the telephone, because, hello was not as formalized a greeting at that time. And people didn't know if that would be the appropriate greeting for a telephone. And so, there were a number of suggestions for what people should say. This is people trying to figure out. This is a time in which people cared about, your etiquette, your Emily Post type business. And one of the proposed things that people could say when they picked up the telephone in competition with hello was ahoy hoy. For real. And if you'll notice, that's what Mr. Burns of The Simpsons says when he answers the telephone, because the joke is that he is so very old that he would have been a proponent of a hoy hoy over hello. See, you learned something today, and it wasn't that funny, and it took time away from what I was actually doing. So, who's laughing now? Nobody. That's, oh boy, we ain't getting that younger demographic. Not this week. Oh no. Anyway, of course, I don't think we're getting that demographic. You know what I'm saying? I think what we're going to get is that guy watches his own videos. That's going to be the demographic we get. Anyway, moving onward. This just won't do. Oh, I was doing a whole thing. I was like, ha 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 ha. Hey, you don't get Velvet Underground jokes, which you don't. Wait a minute. This just won't do. I have good cause not to do it this way. As a matter of fact, I do, if I'm being perfectly honest. Let's class it up a bit. Yeah. Ruby doop dooby doop ruby doop dooby doop ruby doop dooby doop doop doo 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 doo. That be the beginning of the game Math Mileage for the Atari. That's right. Do you remember Math Mileage? Where you'd have to drive the race car through the banner of the appropriate portion of the equation that gets you to the desired number. Yeah. And each time you go through a banner, it'd be like, doo doo doo. And then you go through another one and it'd be like, doo doo doo. And then you go through another one and it'd be like, doo doo doo. And you go through another one and it'd be like, doo doo doo. And then you go through another one and it'd be like, doo doo doo. And then you go through another one and it'd be like, doo 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 doo. And then you go through another one and it'd be like, doo 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 doo. Oh my god. I could go on and on, apparently. Regardless, let's class this show up a little bit for the love of sweet, sweet. What? No. Nope. Yep. No. Nope. Nope. That's not what you heard, was not what it was. That's right. Class it up. Here we go. Yeah, classy. I'm liking this. This looks good. This looks good and classy. All right. So, doing this in honor of my brother Robert, who passed away earlier this week. True story. A unique individual. Talked about him for 4 hours in a Minecraft episode. Yeah, the world will not see his like again. Cannot possibly. Anyway, so as has been the case for the past 5 weeks, wherein as I was engaging in weekend type fun, you know, being an adult, letting it get late in an adult type way, and having an adult type fun time. Anyway, it is needed this week more than most. I needed to cut loose, to relax, to give my own brain some space, some distance from the things that it keeps pouring over. So, true. That is true. In honor of my brother Robert, I shall attempt to do better this time round. So no Velvet Underground jokes, and then making fun of you for not getting Velvet Underground jokes. So with that in mind, let's move onward and upward. Weekend Type Fun 6, a portfolio of extremely dignified, highbrow humor. You know what's hilarious about my brother is that we when we used to read scriptures together, he would always go into an accent. Always. He had a scripture reading accent. I even told him one time, and he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, you get a scripture accent on. I don't know if he was messing with me, that he didn't know that he did that, or if he legitimately did not know that he had a scripture accent. So you'd be like, okay, we're reading scriptures. We're in the book of inclusions. Uh, yeah, we're reading the epistle of the apostle to the inclusions. And this is verse 75 of chapter 124. And the Lord did say unto him, Thou shalt take of thine sister's hair 3 snippets, and thou shalt put them down the back of her shirt, and lo, she shalt itcheth, and thou shalt pointeth thy finger, and laugh, and laugh, and laugh, and have a really good time. And I'd be like, Broseph, you just read that in an accent, like you went all accenty. Cause when I read it, I'd be like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, there's some scripture I'm gonna read right now in my regular voice. Wait a minute. That's probably highly offensive. Mine apologies. Mine apologies. Hey, did you know that my senior year of high school, I didn't win the state championship in humorous interpretation, even though I was heavily favored. And the reason why is because I was doing a speech piece written by a black man, which was written, you know, how Robert Burns, the great Scottish poet of the we sleeket cowran timorous beastie, oh, it a panics in thy breastie. You know the one, to a mouse. Thou needna start away so hasty with bicker and brattle. I would be laid to run and chase thee with murder and pattle. Truly sorry man's dominion has broken nature's social union, and justifies that ill opinion that makes thee startle at me, thy poor earth-born companion and fellow mortal. Anyway, regardless, yeah, so I was doing a speech piece that was written in the colloquial accent in the same way that Robert Burns would write in Scots English. This was written to be read in African American voices, and so I did like 6 or 7 different African American voices in my humor piece, and like the funny thing is that at no point did it occur to me that I was doing anything remotely controversial. Like that thought had not crossed my mind. And there was even a black girl who came up to me after one of my final rounds in one of the final speech meets of the year, who was like, my God, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Like, I wish I could like take you to my family and be like, check this guy out. And I was like, oh, good. Like, I mean, granted, that is the well, my black friend says fallacy. That is the, like, I have one black friend and they said that it's okay that I do this. Like, anyway, but during the final for the state humor competition, one of the judges said that it was offensive that I, a white person, would do so many black voices. And she thought I was being offensive. And so she gave me a low score in the very final round. And that's why, after winning meet after meet after meet that year, with that piece, I I lost the state championship. Anyway, it's a weird thing, like, you know, when you can do voices, and I can do some, and there are many others that I can't do, But yeah, when you can do voices, you just enjoy doing it, and you often don't think about like, oh, well, is someone going to be offended by this voice? I think that like um what's his name, Hank Azaria, who did the voice of Apu on The Simpsons for so long, like I don't think it occurred to him that that was remotely offensive. And I don't think he would have done it if he thought it was offensive. But like we're living in different times now. It's like the old saying, the past is a foreign country. People do things differently there. Yeah, I don't think that I would pick up a speech piece now in which I, a white man, would have to play like seven different black people. Anyway, so yeah, I was doing a voice. It sounded kind of urban, a terribly like that's actually more offensive. But it like I'm intentionally using the kind of like euphemistic language that people find patronizing when you're like, oh, you're offended by something that I said. Well, let me just, use the most like ridiculous glazing over of words as a vain attempt to like smooth out what I did rather than taking full ownership for it. Yeah. Anyway, here you go. There you go. Yeah, so I did a voice, and it was of an unfortunately urban. Oh no, it's not unfortunate to be urban. Wow, I'm just gonna write my letter of apology now. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I wish I couldn't take this take, but I have a rule about not trying too hard and not doing multiple takes. So, anyway, here we go. Let us begin with a joke. And I actually wrote this several years ago. I shared it with Robert once, and he hated it in the best way. It's true. A heraldry pun, part the first. A duke, not a duke, is not a duke, it's a duke. A duke from an old noble family has considered himself quite lucky to have taken as his bride a duchess from a neighboring country. She was fair and lovely, and as far as he knew, they were considerably less closely related than most European nobles. Oh, my goodness, if I had a nickel for every king and queen who was secretly practically brother and sister. Oh, my goodness. Crowned heads of Europe. They're a tricky bunch, aren't they? Yes. Sneaky and suspiciously incestuous. Anyway, yes, well, that was the Duke. I feel like my accent has strayed considerably. I'm just going to do it. A heraldry pun, part the second. The merging of their affairs, including but not limited to estates, titles, holdings, dowries, inheritances, vast tracts of lands, etc., was a fairly straightforward matter. Neither of their families made any impediment to their union, and they were swiftly swept away into a life of newly wedded bliss. A heraldry pun, part the third. One day the Duchess was writing her thanks to a distant relation for their gift of a gaudy goblet, which she planned on only displaying when they came to visit. As she was penning her praise of the purportedly pulchritudinous piece of polished pewter placed precariously beside her, the Duke noticed she was using a piece of parchment bearing her old family seal. While the Duke was, in many ways, a picture of modern nobility, there are many aspects of nobility which do not bend with the times. He leaned in beside his new bride, kissed her neck tenderly, and asked, "My dear, now that you are the 47th Duchess Le Grand Cul de Gelatineux, would it not be more fitting to use my family's parchment with its own coat of arms? You, Duchess Le Grand Cul de Gelatineux." Oh, goodness, I hit the microphone. Okay, look, Braxton, this stuff is killing. This joke is gonna, like, I know the punchline. I read ahead. I don't usually do that, but I had a feeling tonight. Good work, my friend. No, we're friends. No, I consider you a friend. You're not just an underling. Anyone who gives me material like this is a friend. Kaysen, on the other hand. Kaysen, are you over there with Clarissa? Huh? Oh, you're standing over there with Aiden. Just chit-chatting away with Aiden. Aiden, whose parents are the douchiest of them all. Just came in on the douche canoe and just paddled up that ammonia-smelling river and named their kid Aiden after all the Bradens and the Cadens and the Haydens and the Ladens and the Gaydens and the Maiden. No, that's a girl. That's a girl's name, Maiden. Anyway, after all of them, these parents, these tricksters, this group of nonsensical nincompoops, these nervous ninnies, worried about, oh, is my son going to be the most uniquest of all the 7 billion that are on this planet? And they're like, oh, well, let's hope so. Let's name him simply. We shall name him simply Aiden. We shall not put an H nor an K at the beginning of the Aiden sound. We shall simply name him, as I have told you once before, we shall name him Aiden. That's a fun character to play. Those parents are terrible. Anyway, regardless, Braxton, you're cool. Aiden, your name is ridiculous, and I'm going to slap your parents. And Kaysen, you stop talking with Aiden. I'm talking about you and the job that you're doing, producing this show. You're getting a production credit. And what are you doing? Like, I'm trying to read this bit. It's a heraldry pun. I'm like halfway through it. People may have forgotten what it's about now. I've been yelling at you for so long. I've been yelling at you long enough that people are going to be like, legitimately, I don't remember where this heraldry pun began. Some duchess married a duke. She had a giant jiggly booty. Something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Well, things. Let's pick it back up. Let's try to do it without the constant chit-chat. You two, thank you. And Clarissa, don't think I didn't know how many bottles of white there were in my dressing room when I left. Okay? I'm not going to say that again. The number of times that I'm going to say that again, 0. None of them. I shall not say that any more times. The number of times that I'm going to say it after I've said it, and I did just say it, therefore the number of the times that I'm going to say it is none. 0 and not one more. No, not one more. You thought I said one more after all the zeros and when I was like, how many will I say? 0. Not a single one more. The part you heard was one more. Clarissa, you may have a mental condition. It's called too much white. No more Sac blanc for you. No, I put you in a sack. That's it's a hilarious wine pun. Anyway, ahem. The Duchess smiled, evidently aware that this moment was bound to come, and politely declined her husband's request. He begged her for a reason, but knowing her answer would likely cause more grief than it would solve, she resisted his persistent inquiries. Over time, the Duke began to be increasingly perplexed, not only by his wife's persistence in writing all of her correspondence on her own parchment bearing her own family's coat of arms, but also her stubborn refusal to provide him with any degree of satisfaction as to why she would pursue such a course of action. As word of this outrage spread, the Duke became the subject of ridicule. Oh, goodness, I hate it when I do turbos. Subject of ridicule, thank you very much. Does it hurt to do it right? Straighten my wig, I'll straighten your wig. No, that's the sound I make when I straighten wigs. Why, what sound do you make? You know, you're a weird little man, you know. Anyway, a Herald Repun, Part the 7th. As word of this outrage spread, the Duke became the subject of ridicule throughout the land. Parlors and sitting rooms were ablaze with such wicked repartee as, "Surely a wife who bears not her husband's seal shall also fail to bear him a worthy heir, assuming she allows him to perform his husbandly duties in the first of places. Ah, ha, 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 ha. I mean, am I right? Am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I right? Right. Right. You know I'm right. Another knee slapper. What? Why is that comma there? That makes no sense. Another knee slapper of the time went thusly. Oh, no. People love it when you correct your own grammar and punctuation as you go. It's an important part of comedy. What, you think Patton Oswalt goes on stage without correcting his commas? You think that Louis C.K. goes on stage anymore? That's the joke. Anyway, another knee slapper of the time went thusly. If she now bucks at bearing his seal, surely she'll buck in the boudoir, but the Duke shall surely not be the recipient of such bucking, but a buck he'll be indeed. He shall be fitted with a rack of horns, ta'en from the proudest buck of the forest. What a pair they'll be, she a bucking, and he a buckling under his own bebucking. A side note, if you did not know that the horns are the sign of the cuckold, the previous part made no sense whatsoever. Go back and reread it with this knowledge. It's as witty a bit of comedic gold as I've ever been able to dig out of my nose. Coincidentally, any time that Shakespeare makes reference to a man wearing the horns, a man being horned, or a man bearing the horns, a woman forcing her husband to wear the horns, etc. Now you know what that means. Shakespeare did make reference of it, and as a matter of fact, there's quite a bit of comedy based in horning puns in Restoration theater. So just explaining jokes, that's what makes comedy work. Explain the jokes. Be like, okay, well, you know, after the interregnum, when Charles II, they had to convert tennis courts because theater. No, I'm explaining. And Afra Ben publishing under her own name, the first woman to do. That is historically accurate. Oh, am I not pronouncing her name correctly? I don't know. I've only read it. I've never said it out loud in front of anyone else who knew how to pronounce it. I'm saying Afra Ben. She was the first woman to publish under her own name. It's true. Think George Eliot is a man? Nope. Guess again. Anyway, moving on. When word of this outrage reached the Duke, he was not nearly as bemused as you, the audience, no doubt have been. Wait, let me reread that so that the pauses make sense and I don't sound like an idiot. When word of this outrage reached the Duke, he was not nearly as bemused as you, the audience, no doubt have been. He stormed into the study, stately yet steaming, and straightforwardly stated his staunch disapproval of her diabolical deeds. She turned, smiled gently, and again sweetly and politely refused him. Outraged, he approached his wife, shook her roughly, and demanded that she use the Honorable Eel. The Honorable Eel, this is the punchline. We can't mess this part up. Honorable Seal. It's late, people, and I'm just trying to do this in one take. I never do it in less, I never do it in more. No, I've done it in less. For the first however many years I didn't do this at all. Math. Anyway, outraged, he approached his wife, shook her roughly, and demanded that she use the Honorable Seal of the House Le Grand Cul de Gelatineux. She slapped him once across the face, breaking his grasp on her, and stormed out of the room, shouting, "I'm not having this escutcheon with you." Get it? Escutcheon. Escutcheon. Yeah. Get it? Escutcheon. The part of the part of a coat of arms this text is on. It's called the escutcheon. It's the shieldy bit. Please note its similarity to the word discussion. Escutcheon, discussion. Also note that a person in a situation similar to the one the Duchess faced might find themselves saying, "I'm not having this discussion with you." The semi-homophonic relationship between escutcheon and discussion forms the larger part of this joke's humor. You may now cease laughing, and you may also take a moment to adjust your wigs, mustaches, monocles, and epaulets. Transition. This is a transition slide. A transition will be made while the slide is being shown. I am aware that I said transitions and sounded like a real dingus, but my mentioning of that fact made it easier for me to get a drink of water and make an effective, smooth, seamless, almost unnoticeable transmission, translation, translation, transcription, reproduction, rebroadcast without the written consent of Major League Baseball. Oh, goodness, I've lost it. Okay, I just thought of a joke, is what I wrote when I thought of this. I'm telling it to you later, but I'm going to tell it to you as if I thought of it just now. Try not to let the timing of that concept break your brain in half. Okay? I wrote this like I thought of it now, but I didn't. I thought of it when I wrote it, which is not the time in which I'm saying it, because you're not watching the words appear on the screen as I think of them and say them. Though that would be magical if that's how the internet worked. Anyway, regardless, don't be distracted. I was going to seriously, like, there's another thing I was going to do, and I, in fact, will do, I believe, after I'm done with this. But first, it's time for a joke. A newish joke. Part, the setup. while ostensibly serving as, I'm going to say, president? Wait, but not of the United States. Really? Wow. Okay, then. So, as part of his presidential. Wait, are you sure? I'm having a hard time picturing it. Okay, I guess I'll take your word for it. Anyway, Donald Trump, as part of his allegedly presidential duties, took opportunity to visit our ally, the Netherlands. While standing in line to meet His Majesty, King of the Netherlands, Trump leaned over to ask a question of Mike Pence. Mike Pence assumed that he would be asking whether they were in Holland or the Netherlands, or how a king of the Netherlands could possibly be Dutch. What? Oh my God. First of all, I need to capitalize the T in the. That needs to be B. Oh my God. Someone needs to proofread these, except for when you make typos that are actual words that doesn't show up correct. Anyway, okay. Whether they were in Holland or the Netherlands, or how a king of the Netherlands could possibly be Dutch. Would that not be like having a president from Kenya? Could you imagine? Actually, could you imagine people who say Kenya? Kenya. Do people from Kenya say Kenya? Because if they do, then we all should change. But, like, if they do, it feels like those of you who are saying it Kenya are keeping it a secret. Because you're not going like, Kenya, the way that people who are from there wish we would say the name of their country. So I feel like people would pay attention to that. We don't want to be jerks on purpose. Some of us do, but not all of us. Anyway. Yeah. President from Kenya. When Pence heard and understood what Trump was asking, he realized that Trump clearly knew less about European culture than he had assumed. When Trump nudged Pence, he asked, "Hey, what's this guy's name again?" Get it? What's this guy's name? King of the Netherlands. He asked that question about this guy. Oh, I knew I couldn't slip it past you. You knew this was Carl the 16th Gustav, King of Sweden. Okay, let's try it again. I'm just messing with you. Get it? He asked that question about this guy. Oh, I'm kidding. There's no way His Majesty could be confused with Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany. As well you know. You'd recognize her anywhere. Let's show the right picture. Get it? He asked that question about this guy. Wow. Okay. I really cannot trick you, can I? Clearly, you notice that this is Icelandic President Kioni Thorlasius Johansson. Okay, next time, the right picture. No more messing with you. You clearly are not falling for it. Here we go. The next picture. Get it? He asked that question about this guy. Ha-ta! What buffoon wouldn't immediately recognize the visage of Felipe VI of Spain, or as some dinguses call him, Philip VI? His name is Felipe. He is the King of España, and he is a very, very handsome man. Hey, ladies, he's taken. But you know, he's not opposed to some, how you say, extracurricular cuddle time. You know what I mean. It's like he cuddles you, he's a big spoon, and you with a small spoon. And he tells you his hopes and his fears. And you listen to him and you say, My, what a man is this? Why, he must be Felipe the Sixth of España. Thank you. Wait, no, you knew. You know who this was. Felipe the Sixth of Spain. Okay, let's show you the real one. Quit screwing around. Here we go. Get it? He asked that question about this guy. Okay. Look, there's no way that you realize that this is Margrethe II of Denmark. No way. You telling me? Really? Caught it right away, huh? Well, look, even I get this one mixed up. I'm just surprised. I'm not saying that you're not telling the truth on these. I'm just saying, like, I'm surprised. I have a hard time seeing the difference between His Majesty, King of the Netherlands, whom we all know, you know. Anyway, he looks a lot like this guy, Margrethe II of Denmark. These two men could not look more alike. That's what I'm saying. So my surprise is at your ability to see the differences between these two men. It's like you're looking at the back of a highlights magazine and you've found all 7 of them, and I'm still on number 2. I'm like, the line in the sandbox is slightly shorter. That boy's pants are blue. Wait, no, they're blue in both pictures. Oh, dang it. Oh. Anyway, regardless, Highlights for Children, a magazine with a really surprisingly difficult puzzle section. Okay, here we go. Let's get the right picture. Get it? He asked that question about this guy. Wait, you legitimately don't get it. I was just wasting my time with the past 5 intentional image gaffes. Like, seriously? I was acting like you got all 5 of the past where I'm like, aha, it's Felipe the Sixth. And I thought people would get it. Okay, look, I'm going to explain this. Since comedy is best done twice, but if you do it twice, do it with additional insight provided on the second time around when the idea has already not worked the first time. So definitely go back again, explain it, and that's comedy. Okay. Glad we're all on the same page. Oh, it's this dingus kitty from last week. This one is the size of the friggin' moon. And she thinks, no, you go over there. You go over there. You go over there. She thinks that she fits in this space. She does not. Kitty, I don't want you right here. Please go over there. Does all the pushing tell you nothing? Like... I'm like gently nudging her in the direction of not where I am. Kitty, I swear. Oh, Kitty, no. Because last time you like sat down and it friggin' like messed up all my stuff. You really, like, last week's video was adversely affected by your kittiness. Okay. You're going down. Okay. All right. Whew, extra comedy. Have a cat walk through the middle of it. Yep. Works every time. Ha ha. The number of comedy specials on Netflix where a cat just walks in and is like, Meow, I belong here. Ugh, God, that old trope. Anyway, I was worried I was going to have the same slide multiple times. Okay, so Trump asked what this man's name was, which was funny because every male monarch of the House of Orange Nassau, to which King Willem Alexander, pictured on the right, belongs. Uh, and every male monarch of that house has been named Willem. So that's every Dutch king since 1815 who was named Willem. So if you were born between 1815 and right now, the Netherlands has not had a king whose name was not Willem. So it's a joke based on the idea that Trump's so dumb he don't know that King Willem of the Netherlands is named Willem. See, if you don't understand it, then it makes it less funny for him not to understand it, and the joke kind of falls apart, and I look like a dingus. You know what, Braxton? Ooh, rain check on that Friends thing. Yeah, rain check. Oh, this one flopped in a big way. Oh, man. Ugh, Kaysen, am I right? Kaysen, Kaysen, if you're going to do anything, at least, like, treat your fellow employees like crap. I mean, that's what you're here for, right? Oh, that's what Clarissa's here for. Yeah, HR, that makes sense. Okay. Anyway, let's move onward and upward. Definitely, surely, Robert would have gotten it. Yeah, bring the room down. He would have gotten that 100%. No way that Robert, like, first of all, would have recognized this man by his picture, and secondly, would have known his name immediately. It would have been like, oh, Trump asked what his name is. That's funny. That's a good piece of business right there. Anyway, moving on. Oh, and he would have groaned, but deep down he would have enjoyed it. Yeah. He often did groan at some of the things that he enjoyed most humor-wise. Here's one he groaned at quite a bit, but also told often. Did you hear the one about the girl who had she was so cross-eyed that when she cried, the tears ran down her back? Here she died, yeah, of bacteria. Bacteria. Yeah, it's a howler. Anyway, so moving on. Yet another transition. Smooth is the last one. That last one was exactly this smooth. Took exactly as much time, too. This is a review of table wines from Le Grand Cul de Gelatino Vineyards. We begin with the Gut Punch Merlot. Tasted as if it had been left in an oaken barrel for some time. In fact, I'm almost sure it has. 4 stars. Le Old Boot Zinfandel felt like an immaculately beautiful Frenchwoman blasting a 3-day-old onion fart directly into your face. Fat friggin' petite Syrah. Fruity. Suspiciously fruity. In fact, so fruity, one might suspect it were a beverage made of the juices of fermented fruits. The Swarthy Foreigner Malbec tastes very much like my manservant Pedro's most ticklish regions. Why do I know what they taste like? Honey, I'm here to review your dang wine, not interview with the Inquirer. Monoceros. Actually, I heard multiple pronunciations of this. There is monoceros, monoceros, but no monoceros, and no uh, monoceros. Anyway, monoceros Pinot Noir. Rather dark, isn't it? 2 stars. Le Pied Cabernet Sauvignon. Tastes of the dusty, calloused, unwashed foot of a French peasant woman. 5 stars. And now the same segment, but explained for the benefit of Mormons. Mormon notes. Gut punch is a terrible name for a Merlot. Merlot is one of the most common varieties of red wine in the world, and is known for its full-bodied flavors. Mormon notes. Despite what you may think, l'old boot is not a French term at all. It's a couple of English words rendered in a faux French form. Faux is a French word meaning fake. Finally, Zinfandel is a relatively light-colored red wine boasting a typically robust flavor. Mormon notes. Petite Syrah is a wine taken from the grape of the same name. The grape is so called because it looks like a smaller version of the Syrah or Shiraz grape. A Petite Syrah will typically have a buttery yet slightly fruity taste. Also, yes, it is made from fermented fruit juice, as are all wines. That was not accurate, because not all wines are made from grapes. Silly dingus! You're screwing up these Mormon notes. Look, Braxton, I don't fault the words on the page. Kaysen, you're supposed to look out and make sure these kind of things don't happen. I'm pretty sure the cue card guy is getting a squiggly hand. That's what's messing me up. No, we're not going to do it again. No, I'm not going to go back and do it, but say the original joke part, the fat friggin' petite Syrah. No, I'm not going to say that part again. I'm going to just do the Mormon notes part. That's what this bit is. We're doing the Mormon notes. The notes so that Mormons who don't know the differences between various wines can still enjoy the humor and can have a good time just like everybody else, not be ostracized. Yeah, well, you can feel how you want, but I know what I'm going to do. Well, you know what? You and Clarissa aren't the center of the universe. So why don't you just yeah, I mouthed exactly what I meant. And so's your mother. Anyway, moving on. Mormon notes. Petite Syrah is a wine taken from the grape of the same name. The grape is so named because it looks like a smaller version of the Syrah or Shiraz grape. A Petite Syrah will typically have a buttery yet slightly fruity taste. Also, yes, it is made from fermented fruit juice. Also, yeah, it does have a delightful buttery flavor. It's good. It's good stuff. Yeah. True. Mormon notes. Swarthy is an adjective which indicates the relatively darker skin of the person to whom the word is attached. In this case, as would likely be the case in Utah, the swarthy person in question cannot possibly be from the local region and is therefore most likely a foreigner. Also, what did the reviewer do to his manservant's tickly regions? Well, when two men love each other very much... Oh, you'd rather not talk about this bit? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, Malbec wines often originate in Argentina, so, swarthy foreigner. Okay, moving on. Mormon notes. Monoceros is the closest black hole to Earth. It is located in the constellation Monoceros. It means the unicorn. That's literally what it means. Monoceros, the black hole, was so named because it seems to be the only one of its kind that we have yet located. It is 3 times the size of our sun and is a point in space so dark that not even light itself can escape. Pinot Noir, as the noir in its name would indicate, noir meaning black, is a very dark in color as well as flavor wine, hence the hilarity of the review, especially in connection with the name of the wine. So, the Monoceros Pinot Noir, named for the black hole, and also knowing what you now know of Pinot Noir, rather dark, isn't it, is a hilarious review. You may now commence laughter, and now you may stop. Thank you. Mormon notes. Le pied is French for the foot. I know that I am mispronouncing that badly, and I am sorry to all of my French listeners, all those of you who are French, who are my listeners. I am so sorry. I will try to French it up next time. Le pied is French for the foot. Many fine wines are still foot stomped. In fact, most of your very expensive wines are foot stomped, which is the traditional method of pressing wine, dating back thousands and thousands of years. Also, this 5-star review would indicate that the reviewer was into feet. And what I mean by into feet was that he found feet particularly arousing. Okay, what I mean by that is that when a man and a woman want to love each other in non-procreational ways, the man might want to get all freaky deaky, and so oh, you don't want to talk about this part? Okay, all right, I got you. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. And this concludes this week's hilarity. Yep. Conclusion. Nice to have a conclusion. Just put a bow on it, let it be done. Yep, there you go. Had a beginning, had a middle. That middle may not have been any good. Now it's got an end. I'm just gonna end it, and this kitty is gonna get off the desk. Fin. Noun. What a fish swims with. But seriously, this is the end of any potentially funny bits. Join us at the same time next week for a party animal type Mondo Bondo weekend party. Please, for the love of Pete, say that cool young people say Mondo Bondo. I told my boss that they do. We have to do this whole weekend type fun rebranding project and try and bring in a hipper, younger audience. But I just can't connect with these kids at all. I mean, they don't know anything about golf or the stock market. They don't even look up from their phones, and they keep calling me Boomer for some reason. I'm telling you, this YouTube channel is going belly up. It's just between you and me. Look, those Minecraft episodes, they gotten long. What was the last one, like 4 hours? Like anybody's gonna watch that. Look, I'll tell you that, and tell you what else. Where those naughty Steam reviews go, the Japanese ones, you know what I'm talking about. I actually enjoyed those. Well, gotta get back to the old grind, Tell the missus that Joni says hello. All right, will do. party. This program was funded by Public Internet. This program was made possible by the Igneous and Gertrudina Buttcomer Foundation and by viewers like you. Promotional considerations provided by Ralph Morgan's Extra Strangly Snakes, the Lonely Ass Librarians Guild, Grandpappy True Real's Foul-Smelling Balms and Gruels, Well, Look Who Learned to Arc Text in Pixlr, This Friggin' Guy, and The One and Only True God. This program was directed and performed by the mysterious personage. We are one and the same, but neither of us resorts to the use of faux deep expressions. Not last week, not this week. Written by Braxton White Guy. He's not actually this gray. He uses graying creams. Oh, you do too. You're a white guy. You think you're this gray? You think I'm going to believe that you're this gray? Look at this picture of this guy. Like 100% gray. Look, if your eyes were open, then you'd think that it was an actual picture of a person and not like an outline. With your eyes closed, it looks like an outline. It doesn't even look like a real picture. Braxton, we're going to retake this. Okay. The theme song by the Out of Tuners. I keep meaning to make a theme song, and then I never do. This has been a presentation of Non-Sober Badger Productions, a subsidiary of the large, boring-sounding corporation with surprisingly questionable business practices, Lawful Asset Holdings Incorporated, a branch of the intentionally vague corporation whose purpose may never be known, the Blaine Group. And communism. It's not dead yet, suckers. Finn. Noun. What a fish swims with. Nope, that was the end. There are no more slides. That idiot is still flipping slides, isn't he? Hey! I am, though. I feel like Robert would have enjoyed this. Miss you, bro.